Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to Mindset Monday. My name is Maria Aleandra, and in case you don't know me, I am a mindset coach, a mama, a wife, I'm a speaker, a podcast host, a strategic sorceress, and I am on a mission to support women to really step into their power, create the things they want to create, and the guys too, but I primarily work with the ladies. It's all good. And today and every Monday, I go live in my Facebook group at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. Today, though, I'm recording this on my computer and then posting it up on the group because Facebook was acting kind of twitchy. So we're not doing that. So if you're watching from the Rock Your Life Facebook group, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being part of the community. And if you're watching on YouTube or elsewhere, then you should head on over to the Rock Your Life Facebook group. I'll have the link down below so that you can join us. It's a really wonderful and powerful community of entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and visionary women who are leaders, change makers, coaches, basically up to really beautiful, powerful things. And every morning I bring a new topic to really support us in shifting our mindset and empowering our decision-making and how we show up in the world. So today I want to talk about procrastination. And I specifically want to talk about procrastination because it's a topic I'm fascinated by, primarily because I am a master at procrastinating. It's truly one of my, we can call it like a shadow superpower. I'm really, really, really good at procrastinating. Always have been. And yet, even though I'm such a procrastinator, I've been able to create really incredible things from my business to, programs within my business to there's lots I've been able to do, even though it's something I grapple with all the time. Just to give you a little bit of insight into my story. I worked for 16 years in corporate, pretty much from the time I graduated from college. And I grew up in basically the corporate landscape, always knowing that there was something within that was yearning to come through, like an unexpressed, message that I wanted to bring into the world, and unexpressed freedom that I wanted to create for myself in terms of how I lived my life and how I had lived my schedule, the time that I had for myself, for my family, and everything. So through a series of events that included a layoff that happened 2 years ago, an unexpected layoff, I was already pretty high in terms of in my department and like the corporate ladder in my department. And anyway, that position got eliminated. And so all of a sudden I found myself jobless, and also with a massive opportunity in front of me of what I got to decide, how I got to show up, a decision to show up in a new way is what I'm trying to say. Blah, blah. So I bring that in because for so many years before I really truly snapped into okay, let me focus in on what I get to create in the world, I danced with procrastination on the projects and the things that really mattered to me. I had no problem being committed to the things that someone else asked me, a boss's boss, a colleague to support. Even then, I would tend to procrastinate to the end. I guess I work also well with that sort of adrenaline of that last minute push. And I think many of us that are kind of driven are wired like that because there's that, I don't know, there's that energy that's cultivated at the very end when you're just about to release a project. So that still happens quite a bit, but I have definitely found really good ways to move through those moments of procrastinating and of getting caught in that space of inaction, because I've seen the beautiful reality of what happens when you build momentum towards something that you're passionate about. And when you live with that sense of purpose and live with that vision and in purpose, on purpose, and with that North Star, things get quite juicy and beautiful and magical. And you begin to create, when you take inspired action and you shift out of procrastination, you begin to show yourself what's possible. And then it's like, oh, okay. Oh, I can do that. Cool. So that's why I want to talk about procrastination today, and specifically, and stay till the end, because I have 2 resources that you can use that are really helpful. One of them you can start using right now, right after you click off this video, but definitely stay tuned till the end. Also, by the way, if there's anybody watching who is an aspiring entrepreneur, you have a burning, yearning, beautiful idea that you want to bring forward, or you've maybe just launched, but are still seeking for that sense of clarity, confidence, that momentum to really refine your messaging, your target audience, your product, what you're about, send me a DM, because I've been working behind the scenes on something new that I'm thinking of bringing out into the world as an answer to one of the questions that I get asked the most, which is, how can I get my entrepreneurial journey going? How can I build the confidence to bring that idea to life? How can I stop procrastinating and get into motion and really build something? How can I choose the right thing to do? How do I find the right platform? What's the right technology? How do I pick my brand colors? Like everything. So I'm coming up with a really powerful process and blueprint system that I'm going to take some people through. And so if you're one of them, if you resonate with that, send me a DM, because I'd love to hear from you and actually pick your brain to see what would be most supportive. But now getting right into, and I bring that up because procrastination is such a heavy thing that keeps us from stepping into that decision to actually launch our business and create our brand and share the message and record the video and all the things. So, procrastination, there's two sides to this story. And the two that I want to light up is that procrastination isn't something evil. It's actually a safety mechanism. It's a safety response to a conditioning that says that anything new, anything unknown, any uncharted territory is dangerous. It's as simple as that. You are about to embark on something new, and there's a system inside of you that basically like halts and says, no, 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 uncharted territory, unknown terrain, that's not safe. Don't go there. Don't do that. Don't whatever. And so what happens is we have a series of sort of mechanisms that spring up, one of them being procrastination. There are others, but we'll focus on procrastination today. So procrastination comes up with all the bells and whistles of all the other things that you have to do, get done, the time that you don't have, the resources you don't have, the thing you're not ready yet to do, fill in the blank, so that you don't move forward into that unknown, into that new way of expressing yourself and showing up in the world and really lighting up with power. So procrastination is actually a defense mechanism. And what happens when we judge it, when we get angry about it, when we get angry at ourselves for procrastinating, is we actually build more resistance. And whenever you're resisting something, you're going to basically like dig your heels in the sand, and there's no flow. Like when you're resisting, even if it's something like procrastinating because you're trying to get over it, you're like, if there's any kind of like, then notice that you're resisting something. So what's the opposite of resistance? It's actually acceptance. And it's sort of that surrender into, the awareness of, okay, this is happening. I'm procrastinating again. Why is this happening? And actually going a little bit deeper. And even if in the moment you don't want to go deep, at least remind yourself, this is a defense mechanism. It's okay. It's actually safe to make new choices. It's safe to create something that's brand new. I've been conditioned to be fearful of new choices. This is like old conditioning. And so the first step is to actually tell ourselves, oh, it's okay. I'm okay. Don't judge it. Don't get angry at yourself. So I want to bring light to that, because we do this self beat up dance, and we're so good at it. We're so good at the self beat up. And then we feel like we're doing something productive because we're beating ourselves up. Have you ever been caught in that game? It's like, oh, you want to do something and then you procrastinate, and then you catch yourself procrastinating. So you beat yourself up about it. So then it almost feels like you're doing something. So then you're like, oh, well, at least I, berated myself for that. Perfect. No, we don't want to do that, because again, what we're telling ourselves is the message that we are not worth that thing that we want to create. We're not worth it because, oh, there we go again, we couldn't do it. And so shifting out of that and being aware of it is really, really powerful, and the first step. Now, that's one side of the story that I want to bring light to. The other side of the story is, in fact, that procrastination is a very sneaky response that keeps us tethered, held back to the old way of doing things, keeps us from success, keeps us from risking, keeps us from creating something completely new. And many times we do have to find the right way to snap out of it in a way that's non-berating. So it looks like, oh, I'm doing it again. Awareness. Okay, that's a safety mechanism. Kind of take yourself through that journey, but then decide what's most important. Decide, that's your choice point. Am I making my decision from a place of vision, from a place of what I want to create, or from circumstance and from being held back in the space of what is safe right now? Right? Anytime you're creating something new, you are bringing forth intuition and knowing that comes from a place that it, especially when it's something brand new, it doesn't come from a place of your knowing. Like, it doesn't come from the data that your brain currently has. That's why I believe so strongly in that magic piece and that intuitive piece, because that's where all the new things come from. But it's also unknown. It's also that uncharted space. So being open to it and understanding that at heart, by nature, you are a creatrix, you are a creator. And so it is your nature to create. It is your nature to bring something forth. And so even though we might have that pullback of like, it's not safe, to remind yourself that, yes, I do get to create. And creation can get messy, and creation can get downright like scary and full of failure. But those are the steps, and that's the way we get to go in order to create what's new. It's not just going to pop up out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? So one side is like acknowledging that it's a safety mechanism. Let's not, let's not beat ourselves up for it. And then the other side is actually, okay, what is the antidote to it? And to me, for me, the biggest antidote is building momentum, is taking that next right step. It's actually moving towards something that you want to create so that you can begin to collect the evidence of what's possible for you. Begin to collect the evidence of, oh, wow, I can do that thing. So then I could do that other thing and the other thing and the other thing. That to me is the best antidote to procrastination. That and having a vision, being clear about your vision. Because what works for me in the moments when I'm caught in the, oh, there's so many other things I could do, or I'm afraid to take that next step. And I've become so self-aware in my self-mastery journey that I'm really good at catching it. And I'm also now really good at not giving myself a hard time about it. So my sense of stress and overwhelm has really, really like decreased. One of the things I say is I don't believe in overwhelm, which is kind of a polarizing thing, but I believe it's a choice. I believe that the sense of overwhelm is a choice that comes from a place of you not embracing the fact that you have a choice. That right there is what separates your space of overwhelm from your space of being in equilibrium. It doesn't mean things aren't difficult and there's not difficult choices to make. Trust me, I've been there, and I move through hard things all the time, but it's always a choice. Always a choice. So is with procrastination. So instead of being that space of complete like, oh my God, overwhelm, remind yourself that you are powerful enough to sit with whatever it is that is going on and to actually make a new choice. And it doesn't mean to push yourself into something else. It means to rewire the way that you approach and embrace each little pivotal choice point. It's not about like pushing through it. It's about going, okay, what's my choice here? And yes, I might be fearful about it, and I still choose to move forward. So don't run away from it. Move towards it with grace, with ease, with joy, with that sense of like grounded power. And this is why I really believe in transformational coaching. And I really work very closely with my clients on getting to the root of why we're procrastinating, for example, because there's always an underlying reason. And one of the things I really believe in is in building the equilibrium and the sustainability of moving forward for the long haul, especially if you are an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur. This is a long game. This isn't just about, hey, I launched a product and oh, that's great. That's just the first step. Beautiful first step. It's just the first spark on the journey. And once you create that spark and you get that going, then we get to really harness the sustainability of who we are and how we show up every single day so that we can continue to make powerful choices in favor of our vision and not get distracted or shot down by circumstances and obstacles. So in a nutshell, Procrastination is both a safety mechanism, and it's also sometimes a space for you to give yourself a loving kick in the pants and tell yourself that yes, you can move through this and make a new choice. Surround yourself with tools, surround yourself with, the right mindset prompts, and so that you can have them in your toolbox and you're going to have that in your journey to keep moving forward. And so I want to give you two of these tools now. One is a book and one is an app, a free app. So the book is this one. It's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And the great thing about this book, it's basically break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. A lot of the procrastination that shows up for us driven, capable, aspiring, leaders and change makers has to do with creativity blocks. And we associate being in a creative flow with having this like divine inspiration that just comes down and like illuminates our keyboard so that we can know what to write, or turns on the camera and we can be like, oh, this is my message. And yes, there are some really, really powerful moments of like just the divine, like it feels like a download that you're like, wow, you feel so jazzed up and inspired. But most of the moments, you just get to show up in front of your computer. You just get to show up in front of whatever it is that you're working on and just create and make it happen. And so this book talks about the accountability. It talks about consistency. It talks about the discipline that it takes to make incredible things happen. And if you're on the path of creating a new paradigm, of shifting the paradigm of how we do things in the world, then my dear friend, you and I are, you're one of my people. And this is a very bold, courageous path. It's not an easy one. It's a very courageous one. This is a path that we've chosen, and I believe we've chosen it from way before we came to this earth to really create what's new. If you're up to shifting paradigms and creating new things that haven't been created before, guess what? You are a visionary. Basically, you're a visionary here to design a new life for yourself, for your family, and to design a new life and a way of living for everybody else around you. So everybody benefits. So hold on tight to that. And the other resource is an app, and this is available for both iPhone and Android. It's an app called Forest. Now, forest like a forest of trees. Now you see what came up here is a timer. So you might be familiar with the Pomodoro method or the Pomodoro method. It's the 25-minute and then 5-minute breaks so that you can really focus on something. Recently, I had someone in one of my coaching masterminds, hello, Carolyn, that inspired me to try the 25-minute, 5-minute, really focus in on what you're doing. We did it together over Zoom one day, and it was really awesome, us both working on different things. And I downloaded this app because I saw it and I thought it was cute. And it actually it serves a dual purpose because it helps you time your 25 minutes. And so I'll show you, it has a button that says plant. And then the timer starts going, and you see this little plant here. It starts growing into a tree. So in 25 minutes, you have a tree. The other thing that it does, which is kind of brilliant, is it locks your phone. You can still get calls and text messages. So, in case anything important comes through, but you can't, if there's a button here that says give up. So if you click give up, it says, are you sure to want to give up? There will be one withered tree in your forest. We don't want that. Cancel that because you want to plant your tree. So it keeps you from getting distracted by your phone. Because when you're focused in on something, then it's like, oh, did I get that text? Or, oh, let me check my email. Or, oh, you think about a million things. That happens to me all the time. So I have found this to be actually really, really useful. And then you collect coins. And I believe I haven't collected that many because I've been using it for a few weeks, or maybe I have enough. But I think once you have a certain amount of coins, you can actually plant a tree somewhere or exchange them for something. All having to do with good things for nature, not with getting more stuff, but it's actually really, really beautiful. So I totally recommend it. And it helps with procrastination because again, getting into momentum is magic. Getting into momentum really supports you in moving things forward. So sometimes it's as simple as, oh my God, I really don't want to start doing the thing, whatever the thing is. Set your timer, sit in front of whatever it is the thing gets to happen in, and then just begin. Even if you're sitting there, even if you're waiting for a little bit of the mojo to get you, but just the act of creating that space to move in that direction is going to support you. It's going to send a message to your brain that says, okay, it's time to get going. Great. There's no need to procrastinate. We're safe. Let's go create something new. So it just builds around, it's like building resources and a support system for your brain to understand and your limbic system to understand that we're safe, we're good. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you found this useful. Let me know in the comments how procrastination shows up in your life. Let me know if you've read The War of Art. Let me know let me know when you get that Forest app. I think it's actually really cool. I really love it. I used it today a few times when I was creating some new things and really focusing in on the computer. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for watching this. I want to thank you for being on the path of your own self-mastery, of supporting your mindset to create incredible things. I want to thank you for your courage, for your determination, for your resilience. I want to thank you for your magic, for the magic you bring to the world. You are so unique. You are a spark of divine creation, and you get to spark a lot of new ideas into the world. And that is what we're here to do. And that is what I hope to support you along your journey. So I appreciate you. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that I get to know you through this experience. So definitely send me a DM if you're a budding, aspiring entrepreneur, because I want to know what's going on in your head and what you're needing at this time to really move you forward. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I have the link down below. What else? I think that's it. So I'm sending you a huge, huge, huge hug, a lot of love. I hope you're doing well during this crazy time. I hope you're focusing in on what's positive, on growth, on raising the energetic vibration of this beautiful planet, and knowing that you always, always, always have a choice of how you show up in life. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and I'll see you soon. Adios. Mwah.